it going, guys and girls? This is probably going to be my final video, by the way, on this topic, but I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I hope you're all feeling sound of mind and just enjoying life to the fullest. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far, very much appreciated. Of course, without you guys there would be no me. You're all legends. But today we're going to be talking about a man who has absolutely crippled the Halloween franchise single-handedly and made Michael Myers into a laughingstock. That son of a bitch over there. You remember the original with Laurie Strode? She was very shy and very timid, not very sure of herself. Well, upon knowing that Rob Zombie was going to make a Halloween film, I actually thought to myself, this is quite interesting, right? This is quite interesting. We get to see a different kind of aspect of Laurie Strode. I thought she'd primarily still be the same kind of character, but, you know, a different interpretation. Rob Zombie, once again, just has to make everything about sex and violence. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute that Halloween shouldn't be violent and gory and so on, but the amount of sexual comments and sexual scenes in this Halloween movie are disturbing. In certain films, yes, it fits the kind of scenario, but in Halloween, it really doesn't. This was basically Rob Zombie turning Halloween into House of a Thousand Corpses. Have you ever seen House of a Thousand Corpses? It's basically that. It's just a mindless, stupid film that has kind of sexual references and violence, and it doesn't really make much sense, and is a blatant rip-off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I watched this movie quite recently again, and I'm not going to lie, it's been years since I watched it. I probably watched it when it first came out, and that was the only time. I told myself I was never going to watch it again because of how crap I thought it was. Why is Laurie Strode completely different? Laurie Strode's almost like obsessed with sex or something like that. She's like a horny teenager. It was the complete opposite of her character in the original Halloween movie. Now, this is just Rob Zombie just because Rob Zombie's just a horny man, isn't he? I mean, he must be a horny, kind of disturbed individual because all of his films are based on primarily the same things. Sexual references and people getting bludgeoned to death. I mean, the film is an absolute mess, particularly the first one. It is an absolute mess. There's a bit at the start in the kitchen where she's literally talking to her boyfriend and she's holding the baby and the baby's crying. And then her boyfriend starts swearing and, like, kind of being abusive. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is a typical Rob Zombie film, this, isn't it? Felt nothing like Halloween. Straight off the bat, felt nothing like a Halloween movie. There's a bit where Michael Myers, the lad who plays him, goes into the toilet at the start of school. Near the start of school, and then these kids come in and start picking on him, and they show him a picture of his mum, like in a nude image of his mum, and then they start taking the mick out of him, and then they start making sexual comments, and I'm thinking, oh, but like over the top sexual comments, like they use the word "cum." I don't mean to repeat it, but they did use that word, and it's like Rob Zombie's just bringing his disturbed mind into an area that it's not really wanted. Scene for scene, it didn't feel like I was watching a Halloween film. It really didn't feel like I was watching a Halloween film. And we'll get on to Michael Myers in a minute. But do you remember in one of my last videos when I talked about Halloween Aftermath and I mentioned how Halloween 3, 4 and 5, you know, I think it was the Season of the Witch, Curse of Michael Myers and the Revenge of Michael Myers, how I didn't like those movies. How they're just terrible films, they're just really poorly written, cheaply made, they're just absolutely crap. Halloween Resurrection was arguably better than... I preferred Halloween Resurrection to Rob Zombie's Halloween. That's how bad I found Rob Zombie's Halloween movie. Now, Michael Myers. Let's get on to... I can't even talk. Let's get on to Michael Myers, guys. Now, Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween movie. In his Halloween movies, he was way too big for a start. He was way too big. I didn't really rate the mask. A lot of people think the mask was pretty cool in Halloween, in Rob Zombie's Halloween. A lot of people said that Rob Zombie's Halloween Michael Myers mask was actually one of the better ones. I actually didn't like it. But I just need to address the elephant in the room. I really need to address the elephant in the room. That Rob Zombie actually made Michael Myers actually have a few words of dialogue. Michael Myers actually spoke in Rob Zombie's Halloween film. Now, that's unforgivable, that. That is unforgivable, that. A soulless, merciless killer. Basically the devil himself. We know Michael Myers. We've known Michael Myers for the best part of 40 years prior to this film. Michael Myers, no matter what, does not talk. He certainly doesn't scream no or, you know, or something like that, or help or whatever. I don't know what, I can't remember what he shouted now, but it was honestly quite embarrassing. But let me just say, I want to erase what I watched of Rob Zombie's movie recently from my existence. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, honestly. It was such a bad interpretation of the Halloween movie. I'm pretty sure John Carpenter himself even did a separate interview and he commented on the Rob Zombie movies in some critical way. I can't remember what he said now, but there was an interview with John Carpenter about the Rob Zombie movies where he said basically that they weren't very good. I don't understand how that first movie got success, other than the fact that it's called Halloween. It's got, you know, it's a kind of an attractive movie for the fact that Michael Myers is in it. I don't understand, you know, it's a Halloween film, so maybe it's going to get attraction because of that. But they were so bad. They were honestly so bad. Both of his Halloween movies for me, I've only watched I watched the first one now twice, obviously quite recently, and the second one I refuse to watch that again. Honestly, Rob Zombie should stay away from movies like that. Rob Zombie is... I've always found Rob Zombie to just be someone who makes aimless gore-fest films with sexual references and all this stuff. You know, torture porn films. That's kind of Rob Zombie's bag. He would be very well suited co-assisting, co-writing or co-directing a Saw film, because he'd probably have a good mind for certain aspects of that. But Rob Zombie making a Halloween film, no. Rob Zombie is not a suitable director to make a Halloween movie. If Rob Zombie was to make a Toy Story film, he would have Jessie and Woody having sex. He would. Which is why I thought straight away when I watched this Halloween movie, when I saw all these sexual references and Laurie Strode literally turning into something that she completely wasn't in the original Halloween movies. Laurie Strode was not into any of that. She was so shy, and then you see her kind of making sex noises with her friend and talking about sex and all this stuff. I'm thinking, Rob Zombie, you are obsessed. Get help. But it has no place in a Halloween film. It has no place in a Halloween film. They were so bad, those films. It's his interpretation of the films. It's his kind of vision for the films, I should say, probably better term. But they were awful. They were both awful. And the first one, when I watched it, absolutely shocking. It's terrible. It's up there with Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection is a better film than that. I'm sorry, Halloween Resurrection is a better film than that. And that's got Busta Rhymes in it. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Rob Zombie. Did you like Rob Zombie's Halloween movie? For me, I thought it was terrible, like I've said. I couldn't stand it, honestly. I will never watch it again now. That is the last time I'll ever watch it. Honestly, it was painful. I kind of had to keep pausing it and getting up and just having a drink or going to the loo thinking, I need to break this up because it was so bad. But give me your thoughts on it, guys. Did you like Rob Zombie's interpretation of the Halloween movies? If so, put it in the comments below. And like and subscribe as always. Guys, be unique, be you, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.